Hi everyone, I'm Cleo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be finally pulling and building Columbina, and I'm so excited to get started. Since I do plan to pull both Ineffa and Columbina, I need a lot of EXP books, so I'm just going around and farming a few of the ley lines. So these are my books so far. I do have a couple of Columbina's books, so I just went and farmed a couple more. Now I will start farming Columbina's boss. I need 46 of her boss materials, and I tried doing this boss with my Flames team, with my Arlecchino melt team, and with my Mawika melt team, and my fastest clear was with my Arlecchino melt team, and I'll just show you in a second. And I just continued farming more of her boss materials. I think Columbina comes out in like a few days, and my days have just consisted of farming this boss and also Ineffa's boss. Okay, so I farmed all of her boss materials, and I'll start creating a build for her. I will use Ningguang as a placeholder, yes. I'll give Columbina the prototype Ember that my Baiju currently has. I don't really use him that much, so he'll be fine without it. I do have to farm like a couple of her weapon mats. I'll just give her the Silken Moon Serenade. I did hear that it will be her best set, unless she's on a DPS build, but she'll be mostly used in my Flynn's team, so Silken Moon Serenade is the perfect set for her. And Ineffa will be the one that gets the new set that's coming out, the new lunar set, not the Hexerai set. So for her artifacts, I'll just focus on crit, energy recharge, and HP. And for her sense, I'll do energy recharge because her burst is very important for my Flames team. And it rolled amazing, like I don't know, these artifacts, I've just been so lucky. As you can see, as I was leveling the artifacts, there was like a notice that the servers are scheduled for maintenance in like half an hour, so I was really just rushing to get her build done. But these are her stats, and I think this is a great build. Like, I know that she ascends with crit rate, and she also gets crit rate from her passive, I think, so yeah. I also farmed a couple of her weapon mats just before the servers undergo maintenance, so yeah. And these are my books. I think that's more than enough. I do have enough of slimes, I have enough of her boss drops, and I'll craft the crystals when I need them, and I think I have enough of her books as well. And that's all for now. I can go to sleep, and when I wake up, I'll be pulling for Columbina. I'm so beyond excited. So patch 6.3 is finally out. There's a new domain, which I'll have to unlock. And there's new art conquests. Before we start, I just want to remove all the exclamation marks, and I also want to do the trials. So I'll start with Ineffa trial. I read about Columbina before she came out. I think she does like some all-field damage that goes off every couple of seconds, depending on like if you are triggering Lunar Bloom, Lunar Charge, or Lunar Crystallized. And I also do know that she facilitates lunar reactions by herself. And I do know that her burst is also needed, and I do know that she buffs lunar damage as well, but I'm not quite sure about her exact kit, so yeah. I'll just go collect my mail. And I have no idea what that box is. And it feels so surreal that she's a playable character. I still remember back when the Fatui teaser first came out and I first saw Columbina. She was so pretty, and it's so crazy to me that she's a playable character now. Like, I'm just so excited to start wishing. Oh, and this box is something for Miliastra Wonderland. I don't really use Miliastra, so I don't know. So if I do decide to put on the weapon banner, I'll just chart a course for Ineffa's weapon. So let's actually start with the pulls. And for the 4 stars, I was kind of hoping just to get as many Setos and Ifas as I can, because I do not own not even one copy of Ifa. And for my Setos, I don't even know which constellation he's on. I don't use him, and I'm not planning to use him, but I do want to have all my 4 stars C6. Oh my god, I got so confused because the whole screen turned black. I was so confused. And now the rest of my pulls are going to go into Ineffa, which you will see in the next video. She's so cute. She's so pretty. I'll just give her everything that I gave Ningguang, and that means that prototype Ember will be hers, and I'll just equip her with Ningguang's artifacts as well. And I gave Ningguang this feather, but I'm not quite sure because I feel that my crit rate is a bit low, but I'll fix that later. Let's start ascending her. Oh yeah, I forgot about the flowers. I'll need to farm the flowers. I pre-farmed for everything, and I think the flowers are the ones that are going to slow me down. If not for the flowers, I would have her ascended already, but the flowers are from the new region, so there's probably not gonna be 168 of them in the world. I would show you a lot of the new region, but I think it's best you experience it for yourself, because I think Genshin really is a game which you should experience for yourself, at least for the first time, so you can enjoy the scenery and the music, because it's really pretty. So I'll just show you this one time where I got caught in a world quest and I wanted to leave, as one does usually when they're farming, and it just locked me inside with the enemies, so I had to fight them. So these are the flowers. These are the first 2 I picked up, and these are the last 2. So that's all. I think there was 69 flowers in total. Yes. And that would mean that I would be capping, I think, at level 70 for her for now. For at least 2 days. I think it's 2 days that they respawn. And I also got a lot of people trying to join my world to presumably get the Columbina flowers, but I really cannot give them because I don't even have enough for myself. Okay, so with ascending, her crit rate is looking a bit better, but it's still on the lower side. So I'll just level up her weapon to 90 because HP is actually useful for her. So as you can see, her crit rate is 48. I would like it to be more, but it's fine. I do like that her energy recharge is above 200 though. I'll be focusing on her skill and her burst because her normals I think are only if you will do DPS Columbina, and right now I'm just building her for my Flynn's team. Later I'll probably try and get her a DPS build as well, but that would entail me having to farm another set of the Nod Krai DPS artifact set. Okay, so to level up her talents to 8, I would have to fight the new world boss, and I'll just use my Flynn's team. I won't show any of the fights because, again, spoilers, I think it's best if you experience the story yourself. And thankfully I got the exact 2 mats that I needed, and I also have the first clear rewards, so I could level up both skill and the burst to level 8. And finally the flowers respawned, and these are just the last 2 remaining in the world, and I can finally send her all the way up to level 90. And her idols, they're so adorable. So let me just show you her final build. And with her being level 90, her crit rate is now at 57, which looks a lot better, but it could still be improved. I'll just go and level up her talents to level 8. Okay, so I have to go back to craft some books. And now I can ascend her talents to level 8. I will probably try to crown her down the line just because she does buff lunar damage, so yeah. And she does get crit rate from her passives, I think. Yes, okay, so she gets 15 crit rate, so that will be 72 crit rate. Now I'll be comparing my Flynn's with Aino versus my Flynn's with Columbina team. I'll use the new DPS test dummy that I've been hearing everyone talk about. I'll just use the Spiral Abyss Energy Start. And I got a bit sidetracked, but in the Miliastra lobby, there were these skyscrapers. It literally feels like a fever dream. I don't know, it's just weird to me because Genshin is so high fantasy, so ethereal and fantastical, and this is just like your average city. Okay, so back to testing. I'm pretty sure I made some mistakes, so take everything you see with a grain of salt, but for the first time, I did 2 rotations with my Flynn's team to kind of get a more accurate DPS measurement. It was around 90k DPS, where I think Columbina was character 2, and she did roughly the same amount of damage as Fischl. I also tested the same theme one more time, but here I stopped the timer right after the first rotation ended, and it gave me 82k DPS, where Columbina I think did less than official, but Sucro somehow did 14% of the damage, so I'm pretty sure something went wrong. Okay, so I'll test the same theme now, just with Aino. I'll stop the timer right after the first rotation. So this gave me around 62k DPS. I'm pretty sure I'm doing something wrong, but for reference there was like at least 20k difference between Aino and Columbina, and I call that a pretty good improvement. So here's my final Columbina build. She has 33k HP, she has 57 crit rate plus the 15 from her passive, she has 211 crit damage and 209 energy recharge. She's on Prototype Ember, she's on Silken Moon Serenade, these are her artifacts, she's on an energy recharge Sands. She's C0 and her talents are 1, 8 and 8, and I will eventually crown her both skill and burst. And I also forgot to do her Windglider, which is so weird because that's usually the first thing that I do. The Nod Krai wings are definitely the best ones, but for now I'll just give her the Dragon Spine wings. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching and playing Genshin with me today. Next time I'll be pulling and building Ineffa, and I wish you all amazing luck on your pulls. Until then, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye!